Before you watch this episode of our City Current radio show, I want to invite you to join City Current's e-learning and online personal development platform called Growth Current. I'm Jeremy Park, host of the City Current radio show and CEO of City Current. Growth Current is your exclusive ticket to attend virtual events with global thought leaders, national guest speakers, and experts who can help you grow personally and professionally. It gives you access to success secrets, lessons learned, learning modules, and so much more. Being online, you can join us from anywhere in the world. Subscriptions are only $8 a month, or you can do bulk subscriptions for your team. Check out growthcurrent.com to learn more and to join us in our efforts to power the good. And now, on to the show. Welcome back to the City Current Radio Show. I'm your host, Jeremy Park. We're honored to be with our next guest. They're both with USO Fort Campbell and USO Nashville. We have two lovely women with us. We have Kari Moore, who's the Executive Director, and Eva Nicol, who is the Center Operations and Programs Manager. So, how are you two lovely ladies doing?
Doing very well. Excited.
So let's talk about over 7 decades in terms of the history for this, and really kind of cool storyline in terms of uniting forces in a lot of different ways. But Kari, let's start with you. Give us a little history lesson for USO, and then we'll dive into Fort Campbell and Nashville as well.
Of course, I'm happy to. In 1941, there were 6 organizations that came together at the call of President Roosevelt to say, the troops need supporting and it's our responsibility to do it. So 6 different organizations pulled together and said, we'll do it. We will help support our effort in World War II. And that's really where the USO started. And so there's a couple of clues in our name and our logo that really lead back to that. And the USO is really the United Service Organizations with an S at the end to, remember that there were 6 that came together. And then our logo has 6 stars in it, and each star represents one of those organizations.
Yeah. So not just a cool history lesson, we get to learn all about the symbolism as well. Talk about specifically USO Fort Campbell and USO Nashville.
We are coming up actually on the anniversary of USO Fort Campbell, and that center opened on November 30th, 2011. So kind of some exciting times for that center. That was the first one to open in this area. I guess in modern times, I've heard so many cool stories of some of the USO centers that we've had, that supported through the 40s, the 50s. And, but for us right now, USO Fort Campbell opened in November 2011, and there was no time to sit and really get comfortable because we opened USO Nashville in the airport in May of 2013. So, just went directly into planning that. And then in 2015, in November, a week apart, we opened the transition program, which helps our transitioning service members move back into a civilian career and a civilian life. And then we opened the USO Nashville MEPS location just 1 week later, where we work with the new recruits who are just signing on to their military career.
Yeah. So Eva, give us a little bit of kind of your vantage point when you talk about the work you do. And I think it's a cool way when you talk about supporting the forces, but being the force behind. So, there's kind of a lot of cool elements to this, but share a little bit of your vantage point in terms of Center Operations Programs Manager. So dive into your world.
Yeah, absolutely. I like to say that I'm all things fun. So I get to do a lot of the fun, deliver a lot of the smiles, actually down in the operations with, at Fort Campbell and at Nashville. So both of the operations look very different, especially now, but even from each other. Naturally with the Nashville being in the airport. So we have a lot of travelers that are coming in and out, seeing a lot of different branches of the military. Here at Fort Campbell being on an Army base, we have a lot more families that are coming through. So there's a lot more family oriented programs that we have lined up. So it's really, honestly, my job is magical. I get to deliver the programs for the families. I get to deliver smiles for people that are passing through the airport that maybe just need, have a 2 or 3 hour layover and don't want to be out, and they get snacks and get to do some cool pickup programs with us. So it's definitely a lot of fun, and we get to deliver a lot of magic here in the operations world. So.
Talk about specifically kind of the focus in terms of helping the men and women serving our country, and at the same time, their families, but doing it in a communal way in terms of the community coming together. So share a little of just kind of how that magic happens, if you will.
Okay, sure. So we have right now we're in the middle of holiday programming, so I'm going to really kind of focus on some of those things. But as far as connecting the families, we have families that have deployed service members at any given time, so we're able to bring them in for holiday meals, holiday dinners, things like that. Whereas maybe they don't really know as many people. We do a spouses coffee connections that really allows them to meet other people that are going through the same thing, seeing the same deployments or seeing the same, extended deployments, which we're hearing a lot of too. So we kind of get to play the middleman. We're facilitating the really fun programming right now. Naturally, a lot of it's pickup, a lot of it's parking lot pickups, but we're giving those boredom busters, and we're creating a space, even if it's on social media, to say, hey, our family's picking up and we're doing these things, and they're able to connect with other families that are participating in the same programs. And so there's a lot of opportunities just to really get the families themselves connected, along with be able to kind of reinforce their families and their own internet dynamic, as far as giving them maybe meals that they wouldn't have necessarily, had time to go off of base and pick up and coordinate and get together. So I like to think, we're really a major glue piece for those connection events.
For either one of you, share a little bit of the feedback that you get from the families and the servicemen and women, because I think it's important to know how much they appreciate it, how much that support really does impact them. So give a little bit of just kind of that vantage point of how much it means to them.
Right. Well, and I think I can start with that. I had really early on in my career with USO, we did a program, we call it bye-bye bags, and we go to the flight line when people are deploying, and we bring them this little snack bag. So if I can paint the picture, usually it's middle of the night, most of the time. And it was the very first time doing it, so we do it a little differently now. I just kind of want to throw that out there. But me and the volunteer that was with me are standing there as the soldiers come in, and they come in off a bus because they've been at a place where they just said goodbye to all of their family members, and they all have their weapons. And so they come in off this bus, and because they have just said goodbye, there's no expression on their face whatsoever. And we're standing there, and they go through what's called the manifest line, and they do all their final kind of check-ins and everything. And at the end of that, we hand them this little bag of snacks. And it is so powerful, because every single one without fail, you hand them that snack bag and they say, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And inside you are thinking, you just said goodbye to your family. You're carrying a weapon that is taller than me, and you're thanking me for this bag of $2 worth of snacks. And it's the most impactful experience I think that I've ever had, working with this, with this organization and with the military population. And that's how it always is. We delivered an amazing program this summer called Warrior Summer, and we were able to reach back out to the families that participated in this throughout the summer and ask them what was the impact, what was the, how did that work for you? And the comments were incredible. In a summer where nothing else happened, they were able to, have something to do, and they thank us and they thank our supporters for that. And the amazing thing about this military community is that they're always thanking the supporters on top of the USO. And I think that is really important, because they know that people are working through us, through our mission, to be able to support them and their families.
Yeah, absolutely. Eva, what would you add to that in terms of impact?
Yeah, I concur. Just one, for me, it's about the smiles and knowing that we're really just giving them those memories and those opportunities that maybe they wouldn't think of to do, or just have the opportunity to do. So I think that's what it is. You know, I'd mentioned kind of one of the extensions of the deployment because I just recently got an email, and we were working with the Tennessee Titans as far as putting together a goose chase scavenger hunt. And one of the questions at the very end was, you know, kind of how did this impact your family? Like, what did you like about this program in particular? And it was a wife who was home with 3 kids. And she said, we just got the news that, you know, my husband was extending. He was supposed to be home for our child's 3rd birthday. You know, this program alone was a huge distraction for us to be able to still connect even with him while he was deployed, because it is a virtual program that we put on. So to even still be, you know, connected with him and have their kids really kind of, you know, not focus on that he's not going to be coming home right when they were planning on them coming home. And so just hearing stories like that, where our programs really impacted, you know, the families and the children, and still being able to keep them connected when their soldiers aren't coming home when they think they are. I mean, it's extremely powerful.
Share a little bit about the ways that we can plug in and help. And I'm thinking, especially around the holidays, you have a number of different ways with a wish list and some different things that we can get involved in. So talk about the ways that we can get involved.
Sure, absolutely. So over in Nashville, like I said, a lot of, you know, with the travelers that are coming in and out, we are limited in capacity as far as seating space. We want to make sure that we're delivering everything safely. So we are offering a lot of grab and go not just meals, we have the snacks, but also programs. So what that looks like right now is we have fall craft kits that are individually wrapped and put together. So when the kids are coming in, they get their own little kit, and it's a foam kit so they can take it easily with them on the plane with them. So we're also going to be continuing to do that throughout the holidays. We'll have Christmas ones and holiday themed little kits and things to kind of keep them busy for that. So that is something that you'll see on our wish list for Nashville. So we are really focusing on, you know, kind of having those grab and go programs, not just the snacks. Of course, we're always going to be known for our snacks. So we still have that too, but we are doing a lot more programming over there. We're also going to be doing letters to Santa, which will be really magical. So I will encourage people to volunteer. Our center is open. We are on, you know, a little bit more constricted hours currently, but we are always looking for volunteers to help deliver the mission in Nashville. There's also opportunities that we, you know, expeditionary opportunities that we've reached out with Berry Field over at the 118th to do breakfast for them for drill weekend. So it's really nice to have those extra volunteers there to kind of to welcome, greet, say hello, give them a Chick-fil-A breakfast sandwich. So a lot of things going on in Nashville. And really, I'm going to mimic the same as far as at Fort Campbell, volunteering as far as part of our Great Gift Giveaway. We have a holiday week that starts on the 14th of December and goes all the way through the 19th. Some of our programs include Breakfast with Santa, which again is going to be a grab and go, but we'll have Santa out there smiling and giving some breakfast sandwiches out. So we'd encourage people to come in and volunteer with that. We have a holiday movie night program, again, same style. So we're really looking for that. Now, I can't walk away from holiday programming without talking about our Great Gift Giveaway, which is our largest program of the year. And just our most, I think, heartwarming program of the year as well. So we definitely want to encourage people to be involved with that. So there's a lot of elements to that. We have a wish list that's out on Amazon for Fort Campbell specifically, and that hits a lot of the toys for the age groups. But to kind of rewind a little bit, what the Great Gift Giveaway is, it's strictly for active duty military families. Each of the family members each of the kids in the families get a gift that's age appropriate. All of the families get board games, DVDs, a book for each child, and also wrapping paper, bags. This year, we're going to be adding in lunch during a piece of it. So to do it safely and responsibly, it's going to last all day. So we'll start at 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. So we do need a lot of volunteers to cover those shifts as far as helping us be able to allow the guests to come in safely. And again, it's going to take an all day thing to make sure everyone's spread out really well, but definitely donating to that mission as far as if you wanted to donate a toy or your time, that's definitely something that I can't walk away from without talking about, because it is such a magical program that we do annually.
Give me one thing that you wish everyone knew that they might not know about USO.
Oh, wow. That's a really big question. I think more than anything is that there are more ways than you can think of to work with this mission and support the military and the military families. You know, sometimes it's mentoring a transitioning service member or a military spouse who's trying to build a network and, you know, find herself in a new area. Sometimes it is, you know, the ordering a toy off of Amazon and sending it in. I think it's just, there's so many more ways to connect with and be a force behind the forces than most people would realize. And it's not always about the money. The money helps us deliver the mission, and there's no doubt about it. But it's volunteering, it's the time, and there's more things to do as a volunteer than just time at the desk. And, you know, I think that's probably the biggest thing that I wish people knew.
Yeah, we'll wrap up with the website. Where do we go to raise our hand to get involved and to reach out? So what's the website, social media, phone number? Where would you direct everyone to go?
Well, I think the very best place, if I could really date myself, is Facebook, really, truly. USO Nashville and USO Fort Campbell both have a Facebook page, and we are constantly on there talking about a lot of different things. And so if there's one thing that you remember, it would be Facebook. But if you're really interested in becoming a volunteer, it's volunteers.uso.org. And between Facebook and the volunteer website, you've got a portal into pretty much any way to get involved.
Nice. Well, Kari, Eva, thank you for all you and your team do. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you so much.